Welcome to the 10th week of the North Marion Athletics Update, which offers you in-depth coverage of everything that takes place in athletics around North Marion. A couple of our teams saw their regular seasons come to a close, while the soccer teams are coming down the home stretch. The volleyball team kicked off the postseason in Huskies athletics, and we'll give you the summary of their game with Astoria. We'll also preview some more postseason matchups, which include both soccer teams having a good shot at reaching postseason action. But first, we go to the North Marion football squad, who rounded out their season Friday night with a tough loss to the White Buffaloes of Madras. For the full recap, here's NM Athletics football analyst Josh Hauser.
Thanks, Cole. The Huskies had to endure their longest road trip of the season, taking the 3-hour journey to Madras. Several freshman football players also made the trip with the Huskies varsity team. The weather in Madras wasn't too terrible, but the wind did make for a crisp fall atmosphere. North Marion had a hot first drive, which began at their own 38-yard line. The Huskies' running game carried them down the field on the first drive, as running back Matt McLaren tore right through the Buffaloes' defense for several respectable gains. The drive was capped off by an 8-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Wyatt Moore to wide receiver Kyle Martin. Just under 4 minutes into the game, the Huskies were flying high with a 7-0 lead, which came on a relatively easy drive. North Marion held on to the momentum, especially after forcing a 3-and-out upon the White Buffaloes. However, the tables turned quickly as Madras returned an intercepted pass for a touchdown and converted on the 2-point conversion to quickly take an 8-7 lead. The Huskies got the ball back deep in their own territory, but history repeated itself as Madras took an intercepted pass into the Huskies' red zone, which led to an easy Madras score. Meanwhile, the Huskies, who had looked so good offensively, fell into a slump and struggled to move the ball. At the end of the half, the White Buffaloes held a 22-7 lead over the Huskies. The second half started off with a huge surprise, as Shane Whitehead's low line drive kick hit one of the front line kickoff team members of Madras. The ball bounced all the way back to the Huskies' kickoff team, allowing sophomore Dustin Newsom to recover the loose ball. North Marion could not take advantage of the de facto onside kick, as they went 4-and-out, giving the ball right back to the White Buffaloes. The Huskies' defense was great in the third quarter and throughout the entire game. The game's sealing moment is when the Huskies, down by just 2 scores early in the fourth quarter, had the ball deep in their own territory. North Marion elected to go for it on 4th and 2, but running back Matt McLaren was turned away, giving the ball right back to Madras, who scored fairly easily. The 30-7 difference, which would be the final score, became too big to overcome, and the Huskies fell to Madras. Any hope of a postseason spot was lost with the disappointing outcome. Besides the turnover battle, North Marion completely outplayed the White Buffaloes in every aspect. The Huskies ran 59 plays, resulting in 183 offensive yards. Madras ran 49 plays for just 124 yards. North Marion also had 11 first downs to Madras' 7. Individually, the numbers weren't flashy on either side. McLaren probably had the best performance on the night, running for 94 yards on 28 carries. Quarterback Wyatt Moore went 7 for 20 with 82 yards and a touchdown. Kyle Martin continued to lead the Huskies' receiving category with 3 receptions for 28 yards and a touchdown. Pyatt caught 2, and Packham and Pipper each had 1 reception. Defensively for the Huskies, Pyatt, Williamson, and Walker led the tackles category with 9, 8, and 7 tackles respectively. Cody Walker was the bright spot of the Huskies' defense, recording 2 solo sacks and half a tackle for loss. Zach Williamson also picked off a pass, accounting for the White Buffaloes' lone interception. This disappointing loss for the Huskies ended a tough season overall. However, this group of Huskies will be remembered as a team who was not only fun to watch, but always competed no matter how challenging the opponent. The team really grew together throughout the season, becoming a true family. The season always seems to come to a close too soon. That will do it for the final football wrap-up of the 2011 season. Back to you, Cole.
Thank you, Josh. On a side note pertaining to football, the JV2 football team had their last game of the season on Thursday. It was the last game of Coach Lippman's long coaching career, as he is no longer going to coach either football or baseball. Thank you to Coach Lippman for all your time coaching in North Marion. The North Marion soccer teams were both in action twice this week, playing Gladstone on Tuesday and then Estacada on Thursday. The boys stayed home Tuesday to host the Gladiators. North Marion snatched the lead early when junior Jesus Salinas scored in the first 10 minutes of the game. As the second half was winding down, junior Ivan Salcido headed in another Husky goal, granting North Marion a 2-0 lead. This lead held true as the Huskies defeated the struggling Gladiators 2-0. The boys team then traveled to Estacada for the final road game of the season versus the Rangers. Estacada came into the match as the second highest team in the Tri-Valley Conference. The Huskies came ready to play as they held in 3 with the Rangers. 2 North Marion goals were scored by senior Peter Twing and sophomore Andy Pine. In the end, the Huskies played to a tie with the Rangers. Taking a look at our playoff picture, the Huskies are not going to automatically qualify for the playoffs, as only the top 4 teams from the powerful Tri-Valley Conference round automatically qualify for the play-in round. However, with the Huskies' non-conference success, they have an extremely high likelihood of clinching an at-large berth, as they are ranked as the best team in the state that doesn't already qualify for the play-in round. At this point, their most likely opponent would be the Tillamook Cheesemakers, who are ranked 18th in the state. North Marion is ranked 22nd, so this matchup, which would be in Tillamook, would put 2 very even teams together. When the Huskies and Cheesemakers matched up earlier this season, Tillamook knocked off North Marion 3-2 in a thrilling contest. To get the latest information on the details of the playing game, be sure to like us on Facebook and we will share the knowledge as soon as it gets to us. The girls' soccer team started off their week of games on Tuesday as they traveled to Gladstone to take on the Gladiators, who sit atop the Tri-Valley Conference. From a North Marion standpoint, it was an ugly game as the Gladiators proved their dominance of the conference with a 4-1 win over the Huskies. The lone North Marion goal was scored by Febe Samano off of a penalty kick. The Huskies hosted Estacada in a special senior night game, which was played under the lights on the football field on Thursday. The 2 teams came into the game tied record-wise at 3-5 in league. The Huskies scored first as Brianna Martinez tallied a goal in the 27th minute. The halftime score had the Huskies up on the Rangers 1-0. Estacada tied the game late in the second half with a goal of their own, deadlocking the game at 1. North Marion was not happy with the game ending in a tie, as they fought hard until the end. They scored 2 goals in the last 10 minutes of the game, one coming from Jasmine Flores and the other coming from Kendra Ash. The Huskies held on for a 3-1 win over Estacada. The girls' playoff picture is a little clearer than the boys', as the girls sit in the 4th place position of the Tri-Valley Conference. Unless something radically changes, the girls have clinched a 4th playoff spot in the conference, automatically qualifying for a play-in game. With the Tri-Valley Conference also being a strong league in girls soccer, more teams out of the top 4 may get an at-large berth, which means the Huskies' play-in opponent is not for sure yet. Due to a close Kawapa conference race, the Huskies could play Scappoose, Yamhill Carlton, Seaside, or Astoria, depending on how the regular season finishes out. As always, for the latest up-to-date information, like the North Marion Athletics page on Facebook. The cross-country team was in Estacada Wednesday for the 2011 Tri-Valley Conference District Championships. The course at McIver Park was mostly grass with low rolling hills. Unfortunately, the Huskies squad did not qualify for state, but there were some high finishers for the Huskies. As you can see on your screen, 3 Husky boys finished close together. Spencer Christie, Ruben Santana, and Johnny Vara all finished in the mid-18s at 11th, 12th, and 13th place respectively. Hannah Surkamp finished first for the North Marion girls, finishing 9th in the conference with a 22-11. Postseason play was upon us over the weekend as the North Marion volleyball team reached a play-in game, which took place in Astoria on Saturday. But before we get there, the Huskies hosted the Matters White Buffaloes on Tuesday night in the final event of the 2011 Pink Out Week. The team was dressed for the occasion as they sported some flashy pink uniforms. Matters brought their high-quality club to North Marion for the matchup. In a unique situation, Matters defeated North Marion in all sets, and all 3 set scores were 25-15. The volleyball team, despite the loss, moved on to the play-in round, which they clinched a week earlier after their win over Gladstone. North Marion was handed the daunting task of taking on the Astoria Fighting Fishermen, who were ranked 4th in the OSAA RPI system. Astoria swept the Huskies in 3 sets as the talented fishermen show that they have the strength to win the title this season. The volleyball team finished their 2nd consecutive season with a postseason entry, which the program has struggled mightily to reach in recent years. It was an exciting season to watch, and NM Athletics would like to congratulate the team on a good season. This week for the FBLA High Flying Performer, we chose 2 athletes, and those are Kendra Ash and Jasmine Flores of the girls soccer team.
Let's go.
Jasmine and Kendra both scored goals in the last 10 minutes of the game to finish off a 3-1 win over Estacada on senior night. Congratulations to Kendra and Jasmine, and remember, balloons from FULA are perfect for any occasion, whether it be holidays, birthdays, or just for fun. Now, here is Wyatt with more upcoming events.
Thanks, Cole. We see the last regular season action of the fall sports season on Monday. Girls soccer travels to Madras to play the White Buffaloes at 6. Boys soccer will host Madras with a 6 p.m. game. This game is also senior night and will be played under lights on the football field. The boys soccer team will play in a play-in game, most likely versus Tillamook in Tillamook. The time and opponent are still being determined. The girls soccer team will also participate in a play-in game. Their playing opponent is yet to be decided, as they may play a variety of Kawapa League teams. Time and opponent are still being determined. That's it for more upcoming events. We'll hand it back over to Cole to finish it off.
Well, that wraps up the 10th week of the North Marion Athletics Update. For Josh Hauser, Wyatt Moore, Logan Beiser, and Cole Costello, this has been another edition of the North Marion Athletics Update, and we wish you all a great upcoming week. Thank you.